Welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina, the semifinals of the ACC Tournament. Let's take a look at the Reebok starting lineups for Virginia and Duke. The Cavaliers need consistent scoring from Junior Burrough. He had 13 yesterday with very poor shot selection. If he gets hot, though, he can carry an offense. Jeff Jones is the only ACC coach ever to win at least 20 games in his first 3 years. This year's club is 17-11. Chris Collins is the wild card in the Duke offense. He hit only 2 of 7 3-point shots yesterday, but on the year shoots nearly 40% from long range. And Mike Krzyzewski has averaged nearly 25 wins a year since he's been at Duke. The Blue Devils are on a pace to exceed that mark again. Hello, everybody. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale. That's it, Sports Center Fantasy. This is an interesting game always. Virginia makes everybody play, it seems, to their level. They play ugly, but somehow they win a lot of ball games.
They really do a great defense, and I don't think Jeff Jones gets the kind of credit he deserves as a young leader. He's done a solid job of Virginia building with defense. Cornell Parker, I feel, is the best defensive player in America. Today, he gets tested big time by Grant Hill, who had 25 points and was brilliant in the matchup with Virginia at Duke. Cherokee Parks was sensational yesterday, 10 block shots. Hey, what an atmosphere here at the ACC. There isn't a tournament in America that has the environment and the atmosphere that exists at an ACC tournament.
Cherokee Parks yesterday nearly had a triple-double, 8 points. He had 10 block shots and 10 rebounds. Duke controls the opening tip.
Shock already. Look at this. Virginia goes to a 2-3 zone as opposed to its typical man-to-man.
Well, they realize what Parks did to him outside, and Grant Hill misses the three. Parks got a hand on it out to Virginia. So Jeff Jones trying to change up a little bit.
I think that's a good decision, especially if you can match up and really get into the face of Chris Collins, because Duke is not a strong perimeter shooting team.
Although if they need him, you know, Grant Hill will take him and make most of them.
Yeah, he's a big shot maker. He makes the big shot.
This is Deane, who had such a great game yesterday. Matched a career high 22.
Burrough really has to make Parks work on the inside and have a big day in the boxes.
Bad pass there.
That's
Jamal Robinson getting a start and bounced it out of bounds. Robinson, a very athletic player, very exciting player.
Played well yesterday, had 16 points against Maryland and was a major factor. He's a slasher. They got him in the lineup to provide some offense.
He also gives them a lot more quickness. Parks in the middle. Didn't get the roll, and here come the Cavaliers. Shot 20% in the first half yet. They have had trouble all year shooting the ball. Williford had it knocked away. This is Parker. Doesn't look for a shot very often.
He can guard people. So can the guy that's guarding him, Grant Hill. See, Grant's going to zone a little bit. Look at 33. He's zoning in the lane because he doesn't respect the offense of Parker.
See how quick Robinson is and how willing he is to go to the basket. Foul was on Grant Hill. That's his first.
Mike, it's amazing the way they win Virginia and have put themselves in a position of being a big dance without offense.
Off the inbounds play, and Deane fires up an air ball.
They may be the only team to get into the NCAA tournament, maybe in history, under 40% for the year. That's amazing. Shooting 38% as a team. There's that 2-3. The middle lane is wide open in the 3-second area. You slide somebody right to the foul line area.
Played a minute and a half. We're scoreless. That is to Virginia's advantage. Hill trying to penetrate, takes it back outside. Antonio Lang, maybe a little.
Oh, what a great tip.
Hill kept it alive. Capel for three. Need the team able to buy a bucket early. Here come the Cavaliers. Deane with the ball. Williford.
Can make layups, Mike.
There's a lid on it.
Hey, we're going to build a new Coliseum before this is over. There's that 2-3 zone. See, I think if you slide somebody to the foul line and look to the wings, you'll get a wide open shot.
Duke is 0 for 4. The Cavaliers 0 for 2.
We're trying to get that triangle with Parks down on the box.
Is this one of these first team that scores wins?
That's what we want to attack. Right in the middle and kick it to the wing, but a bad pass.
Hill turns it over. Parker, and Collins will get a tripping call. And I'm not sure it was his fault. It looked like Jamal Robinson tripped on his own.
Jeff Jones certainly not unhappy with the call. Such a young guy to be on that sideline, 4 years. Oh, nice out-of-bounds play.
And the Cavaliers draw first blood at 17-25.
So here's Grant now looking over the top of that defense. If you could pinch and make the two people up on top play one, you'll get the shot on the wing. See, that's what you're looking for.
Capel open and throws it over Cherokee Parks. And so far, the 2-3 zone has worked to perfection.
It really has created a problem. Duke's 0 for 4 right now against that 2-3.
And 2 turnovers.
Marty the magician, our statistician, laying all these numbers on us.
Marty Aronoff's been here with us a long time. Williford, who's been reluctant to shoot, it seems, lately. Capel with a rebound.
Capel's one of those unsung players. Doesn't get a lot of publicity, but what a solid freshman.
Lang with a baseline jumper.
One shot they're getting. They're not getting on the glass. That 2-3, you're in perfect rebounding position. You have a triangle at all times. Oh, great head fake.
And Harold Deane will draw the 3rd team foul against Duke. And Lang picks up his first. During the regular season, Cherokee Parks just feasted on Virginia. 19 points, 15 rebounds in a close game in Charlottesville. Then in the blowout, everybody had a good day. Grant Hill in particular with 25 points.
He set the tone right out of the gate. He was sensational against Cornell Parker. Parker shut him down in the first meeting down in Charlottesville.
Here comes Deane, who was so terrific yesterday. He hit a hot streak just like that.
Yeah, he really likes that clear out to the right. We used it in the opening, but he loves that wing little jump shot.
4-0, 5th inning.
They're playing right there, the passing lanes.
Hill finally gets some penetration, and Grant Hill gets Duke's first bucket almost 4 minutes into the game.
Just a matter of time. I'll tell you something, Mike. If I'm sitting at the drawing board in the NBA selection, it's pretty tough to pass up on Grant Hill. Some people can regret it. Look at this kid hanging in the air. He doesn't have a downside to this package. There's nothing downside about him. Great attitude, can make the open shot, can handle the basketball, can guard people. Tell me, what can he do?
I was going to say, I think attitude may be the most important one, even with all his great physical skills.
Winner, 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 winner. Unselfish.
Junior Burrough hasn't gotten into the offense yet. He really struggled yesterday. Here's Deane, very aggressive. Harold Deane, 2 for 2 after missing a long 3-point shot to start the ball game.
He does an excellent job of penetrating against the defense and then squaring his body under control for the little jump shot.
Here's another bad pass by Capel.
That zone is driving Duke wacky right now.
3-on-2. Capel gets back to break it up, but loose ball controlled by Virginia. Robinson says slow it down.
I'll tell you, he plays with a lot of confidence, Robinson.
Burrough wants the ball down low. They can't get it to him. Robinson just tossed it up. That may have been a pass. Williford put it in. I think that was a pass.
Ooh, I don't know.
I think it was.
Do you really? We'll have to ask him after the game.
Let's give him credit.
We'll give him credit. It was a nice play. I see right now that Virginia looks a little bit more aggressive than Duke.
We've got a foul inside away from the ball. Excellent officiating crew today. Lenny Wirtz, Frank Scagliano, Larry Rose. Lenny Wirtz officiating in his 25th ACC tournament.
In that SEC semifinal game, Florida pulling away from Alabama, and the Gators backcourt getting it done. The lazy pass, the steal by Dan Cross, finds Craig Brown wide open. He pops. It's right now a 13-point lead for Florida. Michigan continues to lead Northwestern, but it's only by 5. Back to Mike and Dick.
Chris, thanks very much. We have an 8-2 score. Virginia over Duke. Yesterday, Cherokee Parks nearly had a triple-double. Mike Krzyzewski said he was very proud.
What I was proud about Cherokee against Clemson is that it wasn't emotional to score. It was emotional to rebound and play defense. And to me, that shows a high level of maturity. What does my team need today to win? What do we need right now? And Cherokee stepped forward.
I'll tell you, a very emotional player, and they need an emotional lift right now from Parks, but also from Chris Collins to knock down the 3 against this 2-3 zone that's really giving them havoc. I think Collins could become the big player here against this zone.
He struggled yesterday with the outside shot.
They got to find him some shots against the 2-3.
There it is, top of the circle, best place to shoot him. Antonio Lang, offensive rebound.
Big-time offensive rebound to stop the momentum of Virginia. Virginia playing really well early in the game.
Lang would lead the ACC in field goal percentage if he had enough opportunity.
He's had a heck of a year his senior season, a very active Lang. He's been an aggressive player as a rebounder as well as a scorer.
Marty Clark in for the first time.
Instant offense, probably the best sixth man right now in the ACC. Some people will say, wait a minute, what about Jerry Stackhouse down there in North Carolina?
Junior Burrough, baseline drive, offensive foul. Sometimes Burrough makes up his mind before he gets the ball that he's going to shoot no matter what, I think.
There are some moments where he is absolutely brilliant down in the low post, very effective. He has the numbers to back it up, but there are other times he really struggles like he did yesterday.
8-4, Virginia over Duke.
See, I think
played 6 minutes.
Like right now, Duke's playing on a perimeter against that 2-3. I think they got to really dribble the ball right into the seam and into the gap of it, like right there.
There's Hill. He is devastating on the wing.
You got to take the ball at the gaps and seams of the 2-3 zone.
You'll see Grant Hill assume so many different roles during a game according to what Duke needs. And he always fills them beautifully. Duke trying to pick up its defense, and it looked like Junior Burrough had a moving screen there.
I see a switch right now, momentum. I think the timeout really benefited Duke. And I thought Mike Krzyzewski's made a few adjustments, and one is dribble penetration, which Duke does very well during the course of the season.
Called Robinson for the moving screen. He'll go out of the ballgame, and Yuri Barnes, the junior from Richmond, the 24, comes in.
Good decision right now. Jeff Jones sees that they're really attacking the 2-3 now, and he goes man-to-man.
Parks, 17-footer. Wouldn't fall for him. Grant Hill. Hill again. Parks. And he's fouled.
Duke really now stepping it up a notch. A little bit more emotion. Cherokee Parks stepping up like he did yesterday, rebounding and blocking shots.
Williford gets the foul. That's the 4th team foul against Virginia. Duke has committed 3.
And he had to play really well yesterday against Sharon Wright. A lot of people say Sharon, but you're right, Mike, it's Sharon. Look at his numbers yesterday. Almost had a triple-double, but it was the rebounding and the blocking of shots. 10 blocked shots. That's a month's work for most big guys. Mike Krzyzewski, Chris Fowler was talking a little bit earlier about Florida. Lon Kruger is very similar to Mike Krzyzewski. And what a job he has done with a great backcourt, Brown and Cross down there at Florida.
Parks 1 out of 2, loose ball, and Harold Deane with an exceptional play to bounce it off of Marty Clark.
This Duke team has really overachieved to be where they're at. Playing with a different personality without Bob Hurley and Thomas Hill.
Burrough has Parks all the way out on him, 30 feet away from the basket.
Good solid position defense. They don't attack defensively like they did with the Hurley era, but they play excellent position defense.
Cornell Parker for 3.
Look at Parks. Is he active? He's going to get him laterally now, not just in the area where he's at. He's going him laterally.
3rd rebound. Duke with a chance to take the lead, but Collins got sloppy with it. Here comes Parker.
Oh, look at that spread. Oh, what a show. And then he gives it up. Hey, Grant Hill, baby. I know Glenn Robinson's a super, and he'll be #1. And I love Jason Kidd. But if I'm making a pick, Mr. Hill's my next pick after Robinson.
Duke has the lead for the first time at 9-8. Williford, offensive foul.
Duke has really stepped it up defensively, closing off the driving angles. There's the Great play by Grant Hill, and in the vision and the size, head up it all the time. And there's Cherokee, the Chief, converting.
Whatever Mike Krzyzewski said during that last timeout, I hope he tape recorded it. He can use that baby again.
I'll tell you, whatever he's been saying over the last 7 years,
That's right.
I'm sure he's got no more room for a tape recorder. He's always saying the right thing.
The momentum is obviously swung toward the Blue Devils. Martin, the Chief, short on a jump hook.
Eric Meek on the floor right now has really improved. Look at him, some physical presence on the inside. Number 52.
He played well yesterday. Here's Burrough, out of control, lost the ball, but the Cavaliers will maintain possession.
Look at Hill leading right there, showing his leadership ability, talking to Meek.
Michigan and Northwestern check the final seconds of the first half in Evanston.
Ricky Birdsong and Northwestern are one possession from taking the lead. Baldwin for three. Bring it!
Pat Baldwin's three. They scored the last 10 of the half, lead Michigan by 2, guys.
Hey, Gene Katie just jumped out of his seat. He said, that's the way to go, Ricky.
And Mike Krzyzewski has seen his team score the last 7 points on the strength of offensive rebounds. After Virginia came out of the 2-3 zone, they have shredded the man-to-man.
I think I'd go back to that 2-3 again. I really would, because I don't think they can handle Grant Hill in a man-to-man, and he'll create too many opportunities.
Same way with Cherokee Parks.
Exactly. That's a good point. They have nobody to play him on the interior.
Chris Alexander, number 30, is into the ballgame, and here is a walk on Cornell Parker.
Take a look at the 2-3 zone right now. There's the alignment of it. We got the 2-3 in this area here, and there's the gap area right here on the wing. He's going to attack. Grant Hill's going to attack the gap, the seam. There it is, the seam right there. There's the little jumper. 2-3 simply means play in an area of the floor, but against that 2-3, there are a lot of holes and gaps you can attack.
Virginia really hurting itself. 6 turnovers in 7.5 minutes of play.
Virginia does an excellent job, though, with their man-to-man defense. They're very physical. They're constantly giving help to one another. See that?
They play very hard.
Play the passing lanes really well. You want to pick up your dribble.
11 minutes to go, first half of play. Duke leading Virginia 9-8. ACC semifinals from Charlotte. Yuri Barnes, who's been much more active lately on offense, hits the jumper. The Cavaliers back on top.
They have him come out off the bench rather than starting as they start Jamal Robinson now. Barnes certainly an experienced player.
Marty Clark. Hill with Parker on. Parker hardly ever tries to keep you from getting the ball, but once you get it, he is so tough. And he got hung up.
He's hurt.
On a
Parker's
screen set by Meek.
He's hurt. He's limping right now. His ankle.
I think he got a knee from Meek on a screen.
He couldn't recover to get out on Grant Hill.
Deane, dump off to Barnes, fouled by Meek.
That really hurts. You get great dribble penetration out of your offensive set, and you don't get the conversion. Excellent penetration by Deane. You have to convert and make that play.
Meek will come out. Antonio Lang comes back in. Of course, this is only the first of the semifinals coming up later this afternoon. This could be an exciting game. Wake Forest against North Carolina. And it starts at 3:30 approximately Eastern time. They split those games during the regular season.
Interesting scenario. If Connecticut wins the Big East tournament, Connecticut certainly with a regular season championship and a Big East championship would deserve the #1 seed in the East. But if they were to get beat, and for example, Duke were to win the ACC tournament, now Duke has the ACC tournament, has the ACC regular season. I think they get the #1 in the East. So it's not automatic a lock for Connecticut. Another interesting scenario would be if North Carolina were to win this tournament, beating Duke, let's say, for example, 3 times, and if Connecticut were to lose, I think that North Carolina can get the #1 seed in the East. So it's not a lock city for Connecticut as the #1 in the East.
And I think whoever wins this tournament, if it's Duke or North Carolina, will be a #1 seed somewhere. Grant Hill couldn't handle what looked like a beautiful pass from paper.
Nice backdoor cut. Yeah, and if I'm Connecticut, I would rather be #1 in the West with Arizona #2 than in the East #1 and have North Carolina. There's the back cut right behind the defensive player. I just love Grantham. I'm going to miss him so much watching him on a collegiate level. And whoever gets him in the NBA is a very, very lucky team.
Mike Krzyzewski's going to miss him more.
Yeah, he's going to miss him more than me.
Junior Burrough wide open for the jump shot and clanks it off the glass.
I'll tell you, he's got to go inside, down to the boxes, put his big body on the post, and take the ball up strong.
He can be an exciting player and carry a team, but when he is off, he puts up some really bad-looking shots.
Providence really hanging right now early with Connecticut. As Dicker said yesterday, they've played Connecticut really tough. Mr. Barnes will be coaching Clemson. Take that to the bank unless something miraculously changes. It looks like he's a lock to be the coach at Clemson. Rick Barnes of Providence.
Clark's fall-away jumper missed it badly. Capel, nice play to bounce it off of Burrough. The tempo so far has certainly been in Virginia's favor.
You very rarely get an open shot against Virginia. You constantly have pressure with a hand in the face and a lot of help. You may beat one guy initially in making a drive to the goal. Oh, nice cut right there by Lang. Great inside play by Lang on a baseline and an out-of-bounds play.
Antonio Lang has 4, and Duke's lead is 2. Deane bumped by Capel and bumped by Clark, and the Virginia bench wanting a call out of that one.
Duke does a great job getting help in that 3-second area. Always have 2 or 3 guys packed in good position in the lane.
Collins goes for the steal, dives out of bounds on it, and the ball will go to Duke.
What an emotional leader Chris Collins brings to the table. Lots of emotion as well as that jump shot.
Great hustle.
His mom is here today, as well as the dad. But the mom is the good-looking one in the family. We all know Doug Collins, the star broadcaster and outstanding athlete in the NBA.
Dad had the stroke.
He had a great stroke.
Nice play by Deane, but Clark picks up the loose ball. The block went to Robinson.
Notice that defensive pressure, harassment all the time. Hand in the face on a shooter.
Robinson is going to be a quality player.
Big time.
Deane, a hanger, got it in the foul.
So is this diaper dandy.
Yes, sir.
Hasn't had a lot of publicity and notoriety, but he stepped in when they lost Corey Alexander. And we're not talking just losing a role player. Alexander was one of the preseason top 10 selections in America. Yet Deane stepped in, took over at that lead guard slot, and has been solid all year for the Cavaliers. This is a strong drive. I mean, you've got to have super strength to hang in this area and convert this.
Harold Deane out of Ettrick, Virginia, and they thought he'd get some minutes behind that man, Corey Alexander.
What a big-time player. You talk about offensive productivity. He's going to provide that spark next year, and what a recruiting class they have coming in as well.
It'd be a pretty good backcourt having Harold Deane and Corey Alexander back there.
And you should see what they're bringing in. This kid Curtis Staples from out of Oak Hill. They say a big-time three-point shooter. Oak Hill connection continues at Virginia. Junior Burrough, Corey Alexander.
Well, I think if they let you register at Oak Hill, you can play. Clark tries a 3 and hit it.
What a big year he has had. Only a deuce, Mike, was a little bit inside the line. Yep.
Cavaliers up by 1 with 8:05 to go first half. This is Mike Powell, 2-time All-Metropolitan D.C. player. Barnes had it stripped, loose ball. Last touch by Alexander.
The 2 guys that have stepped up for Duke to make them such a solid team, top 5 team, Eric Meek and also coming off the bench, Marty Clark.
7:58 to go in the half. Duke by 1.
Big East semifinal game at Madison Square Garden. The top seed Connecticut, a 2-point lead over Providence. Dickie Simpkins has 10 points for the Friars. No other Providence starter has scored. We'll keep you posted.
All right, thanks, Chris. 1-point lead here for Duke. Did Virginia play its way into the NCAA tournament with a win yesterday? Coach thinks so.
I would be shocked, crushed, devastated, whatever you want to say, if we didn't get in. And we have a very strong strength of schedule. We have a relatively high RPI power rating. We finished 500 in the one of the toughest conferences in the country.
Sounds like a
all
lawyer.
Pretty good reasons.
He sounds like a lawyer.
Right.
Hey, he's using all those adjectives. He went to Virginia. He should use bigger words than crushed and devastated. Come on, Jeff. Hey, they're in. There's no way they will be denied. The big question is Georgia Tech, and I think they deserve to be in. If you look, as you said, at best 64, based on their schedule strength and the quality wins over North Carolina. The big question with the committee, the physical stature of James Forrest and Drew Barry. If they don't think they're going to be ready in 5 days, they may be denied a berth.
Collins, nice cut down the lane. Great movement without the ball. The lead has gone to 3.
What a great cut without the basketball by Collins. The most difficult guy to play is a guy that moves without the ball.
Meek called for a hold inside. That's 2 on Eric Meek. Lang has already picked up 2. And the 6th team foul against Duke. Here's the story for Maryland. 16-11. They finished 500 in the ACC. And another team that a lot of people feel certainly belongs in the field of 64.
I think the strength of the ACC obviously is going to play a big role in the RPI ratings. The Big Ten is the #1 conference, ACC #2. If you're in a top 2 conference and you play to 500 based on what's happened in the past, the track record shows that they got a great chance to be in.
And Grant Hill almost gave us a souvenir.
Take a look right here, some wins. I think the one advantage Georgia Tech has over Maryland is the schedule strength. I mean, they played the likes, even in losses, against the Michigans, the Louisvilles, and they did beat Temple and they beat North Carolina twice. Those 2 wins are big.
But with 2 of their 5 starters hurt, they just felt helpless last night.
Well, last night, and also they lost to Florida State, and they played without James Forrest. That could be a strength for them that the committee says, hey, they played without those people, and maybe now if they get them back healthy. But the question is, will they be healthy?
Foul on Harold Deane, his first. Both teams will be in the bonus after the next foul. Duke leading by 3, and that was the 4th offensive foul called on Virginia in this game.
Parker really getting all over Grant Hill, trying to deny him the basketball.
Hartz with a miss after Lang had gotten him the good feed.
Look at this matchup right here. Parker, one of the premier defensive players against one of the best offensive players.
More contact inside. Let's see who picks up this foul away from the ball. I think it's Yuri Barnes.
1-on-1 right now. They're trying to clean up some of that action on the interior, getting very physical. Parker really going to work hard, trying to deny the basketball. As we look right here, we're looking at Parks now trying to post inside against Yuri Barnes, and they get a little foul.
Parks goes to the line, had a streak of 20 straight free throws that he hit earlier in the year.
He's got an excellent touch for a big player. One of the keys defensively, you saw right there, Barnes trying to play inside against Parks. He's trying to beat him to the spot, trying to deny him the basketball. Don't let him get that good low post position.
Barnes playing out of position. He is a forward playing center.
Cherokee Parks' game has really elevated from the beginning of the year.
Biggest lead, Duke on top by 5 with 6:18 to go in the half. Junior Burrough. Oh, missed that one badly too.
And he was right there, made a good offensive move to the basket. They have to have a big game out of Burrows. We talked about that if they're going to hang with Duke.
Junior Burrough has had 3 shots from the floor, all good looks at the bucket, and he hasn't been close.
Duke really played well from the moment that they got the Virginia team to get out of that 2-3 zone.
Checking on who picked up the last foul.
Going to hang number 33. Think about it. The last 4 years, 3 jerseys. Unbelievable. Christian Laettner, Bob Hurley, and Grant Hill. The run comes to an end next year.
Somebody's got to explain to me why Jeff Mullins' jersey is not up there.
Oh, I really wish somebody. I've been saying that time and time again. He's from right here in Charlotte now, coaching the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. And what a great player in his era there with Art Heyman.
And what a great guy, too.
Super guy. I can't believe his jersey's not up there. Let's start a campaign. We want Mullins.
The lead has grown to 7. Harold Deane trying to take over the way he did yesterday, and he will draw the foul. Of course, we've got basketball wall-to-wall for you. 5:30 this afternoon, the Dr. Pepper Southwest Conference Championship, then on to the Power Bar Great Midwest Conference Championship. Western Athletic Championship, Hawaii against BYU. That's a 9:30 start. The Big Sky Conference will have Boise State against Idaho State. If you love hoops, this is the place to be.
That WAC championship now has created a problem with Hawaii now in a situation in the final. If they beat BYU, there could be 3 teams from out of the WAC. Hawaii, BYU, and New Mexico certainly belongs in the tournament. Hey, Tony Baroni, we showed Texas A&M play in Texas. He's a Duke graduate. What a job he's done at Texas A&M.
Eric Meek has to sit down with his 3rd personal foul of the half. Deane misses on the free throw, and Grant Hill with a rebound.
It's getting to a danger period right now for Virginia. They have to lock it up and get a little momentum, or Duke's going to blow this open. Look at that kick out by Collins.
Hill for 3. And Deane skies a rebound. Ahead to Parker. Nice catch ahead.
Oh, yes.
Hello. They missed that one.
That's a big, big play. That's a 5-point turnaround if Hill makes that 3.
And that's what got him started yesterday. He was shooting so poorly and got a breakaway jam like that.
Great pass by Robinson. I like that freshman Jamal Robinson.
22-17, and Cherokee Parks had it knocked out of his hands.
Sometimes there are big plays in the game that really turn a game around, and this was a big play. Look at the great lead right now. We're going to watch the pass. Parker with the excellent look, and there is Burrough finalizing. That play was big because if Hill knocks down that 3, Mike, they don't get the deuce there. You got 5 points on that board, and they're in great shape. They're up by 10.
And Virginia does not have the kind of offensive skills that
are you serious?
What
a great look.
Grant Hill, through all those arms, just dropped it in the lap of Cherokee Park.
What an intelligent player. He anticipated. He was 1 step ahead of the action. He knew where Parks was.
Burrough misses again. The ball knocked out of bounds out to the Blue Devils.
Watch the little curl move. He runs a little curl move on Parker, and there's the dump down. They have that little triangle with Parks on 1 box and Hill in the middle. What a great play.
Collins, bad pass. Parker picks it up.
Got to make the open shot right here.
Robinson for 3.
Put it down. He's going to become a star at Virginia. The name of Deane and Robinson will be special in a Cavalier uniform.
He's gotten much better as the season has worn along out of Jamaica, New York.
They're going to be a heck of a team next year, Virginia.
Pass got away inside, intended for Tony Moore, who was in for the first time. Collins bounces it back to Moore again. Moore throws it away. Collins picks it up. Blocked from behind by Robinson.
Here goes Robinson. Hello!
Nice control by Robinson. He scored the last 5, and it's a 2-point game.
The Robinson show. Look at Jeff Jones said, switch a little. Let's play some D, baby.
Freshman Harold Deane did it yesterday for Virginia. Now freshman Jamal Robinson doing it. Hill, nice fake. And he drops it down. This one's going to be picked off, too. And now Parks ties up Burrough. And the Virginia bench explodes.
And alternate possession goes to, well, it goes to Virginia, deservedly so. They deserve the ball because the defensive effort of their team made that happen.
3:46 to go in the first half, and the Cavaliers have come back to make it a 2-point game.
As we expected, Providence giving UConn a good battle in the first half of that Big East semifinal. For the Huskies, Ray Allen with the miss. Donnie Marshall comes up with the kind of the garbage hoop to follow. Michael Smith, Eric Williams scoreless for the Friars. They trail by 1 at halftime. Nebraska and Missouri are underway. Early lead for the Huskers in that Big 8 semifinal game. Michigan Northwestern still a battle. Wildcats led at halftime. Michigan coming back.
Our story here is Duke with a 24-22 lead over Virginia. First semifinal of the ACC Championship from Charlotte, North Carolina. And Jamal Robinson with 7 first-half points. Harold Deane also has 7.
Right now,
Virginia shooting 53%. Cavalier fans are saying, oh, that's great, but you know it's not going to last.
They only shot 50% one time this season. Duke's only shooting 39%, 9 for 23.
And a jump ball situation. That's a great call by Lenny Wirtz.
I'll tell you, you talk about stability. Lenny Wirtz, you talk about all zebras. I mean, he has such a passion for blowing a whistle, puts his heart and soul in it like Dick Paparo does, and I really respect that fact. Guys that really have a passion for what they're doing. just like you do, have a passion for calling the game, Mike.
Lenny's been around for a long time. He just seems to get better, and so does Grant Hill.
He just gets better and better. General Grant Hill.
26-22. Duke by 4. Parker with Hill on it.
Look at Hill playing some D. He says, look, Cornell, I'm going to show you why I was the Defensive Player of the Year last year. He got the Hank Ivor Award.
Burrough. Hall.
He's really struggling.
1 for 5. The one was a dunk. And back the other way, Capel hits it.
Well, he releases in transition. He sneaks out in the break. Duke getting some playing time also for Tony Moore.
You got to ask about Junior Burrough, a guy who can go on a streak, makes 6 or 7 shots in a row. How can he shoot it so badly? And then Harold Deane comes back and hits a hanger.
Harold Deane has the great knack of getting about 12, 14 feet away from the goal and then squaring up and shooting the jumper under control.
He's 4 out of 5 from the floor. You're right about squaring up. He's beautiful at that. Parks walk.
Did a little disco. They went back to the 2-3 zone. Good move. Little John Travolta right there. Little disco time.
2:18 to go in the half, and Virginia hanging close. And that's all Jeff Jones wants at this point.
How does he stay so young? It's amazing.
He is young.
I know, he really is. To get a job, he was like 29 and he's named head coach. Look at those numbers.
1 out of 5, and 3 of them, I think, have been air balls, and 2 barely nicked the rim. Boy, Robinson and Deane have taken over. They are playing with confidence.
Well, don't tell me that was counted. I mean, that he planned on that off the glass. Give it to him, right. You can tell it's going his way. He's a tough one-on-one player. There's that 2-3 zone again.
Deane and Robinson both have 9. This was very successful early in the ballgame. Hill misses a 3. Parks keeps it alive. And then Parks stepped on the baseline.
Parks has really become a much more active player. He's got more bounce in his legs than he's ever had.
Hope you stay tuned for the Reebok halftime report. Chris Fowler and Digger Phelps in the studio will update all the games that are going on, and as UConn fights for the #1 seed and all the other tournament analysis that you need to know for your favorite ball club. That comes up in a minute and a half. Here's Deane. Nice job of forcing Capel away from him, and as you said, squares up and drains it.
And he always gets the 12 or 14 for a jump shot. He's not looking to shoot the long-range shot. I really think what a future when you talk about Deane and Robinson. Most of his team is all back next year, plus the great recruiting class and Corey Alexander. They could be a preseason top 10.
Deane has 11. The Cavaliers on a 6-0 run, and it's a tie ball game. Hill with a runner. He'll get a foul. And Robinson down on his knees saying,
he's pleaded.
Please.
He's pleaded. He knows, hey, he's pleaded. Look at him, he's hugging the ref. He's hugging Scagliotta. He says, look, I'll take you out to Bravo's right here in Charlotte for a nice Italian dinner. Scagliotta says, I can't go.
Did they really say all this stuff?
It's amazing what's said. When I used to coach, it used to blow my mind hearing some of the comments of the players.
Chris Alexander, number 30, back in the ballgame. Yuri Barnes will get a break with a minute to go in the half. And Grant Hill already had a sensational game.
What a tough decision it's going to be for NBA people to decide when it comes up empty there. A Danielle Marshall, a Glenn Robinson, a Jason Kidd. I mean, you look at Grant Hill. Those 4 players are such quality. And I believe the other 3 are underclassmen, but they will be part of the draft.
Hill missed them both.
Hey, Grant, we're trying to make you a superstar, and he bricks 2 free throws.
Virginia with a chance to take the lead. They had an 8-2 lead and saw it go away.
And it's been their backcourt that's kept them in the game. The duo of Deane and Robinson. Burrough's got to slide inside. Try to slide inside. They got to get him involved offensively. They got to get him involved.
Parker. Back to Deane. Shot clock at 8. Nice stop by Deane. Had it partially blocked. He got it back. Got it back again.
What a great effort for the little guy. I mean, you got to hug him. Give him a hug. Come on, somebody go hug number 21. Don't give him a high five. What a great effort.
Harold Deane with a tremendous effort underneath at 6'1" among the Giants.
Here he goes, number 21, takes it up strong, takes it against the big people. He says, once I can't get it, I'll go up again the 2nd time, and I'll go get it a 3rd time. I'm going to get it away from Cherokee, I'm going to get it away from Hill, and he gets fouled.
Was it Grant Hill? If it was his 2nd personal.
It should have been Hill. He reached in. He goes to the sideline. It must have been him. Yep.
So Hill sitting down with 2. Antonio Lang has 2. Eric Meek has 3. And Deane gives Virginia the lead. Number 1 in minutes on this ball club from someone who was supposed to be a backup and an understudy to Corey Alexander.
Yeah, he was figured to be a third guard in their rotation.
Sean Wilson will come in for Junior Burrough. They don't want him picking up a cheap foul. Wilson, the big kid, seldom used.
I'll tell you the one story about Virginia that comes out very obvious. We often talk about how important it is to play defense. But if you play consistent defense and you play together as a team, eventually you can win a lot of basketball games.
That's right.
It's about how hard you play as a unit, not how hard you play as an individual. And they play very hard as a unit.
That's how they've won 17 games. They feel they are already in the NCAA tournament, and they're leading Duke by 2 as we near the halftime.
I'd play soft right now on cable. I would put a lot of pressure up the point.
Clark over a screen for 3. Robinson with a rebound, nearly lost it. Moore got it back, and a last chance for Clark. Doesn't go at the buzzer. Grant Hill and Harold Deane have put on quite a show in the first half. Virginia scores 8 straight points to take a 30-28 lead. Let's join Chris Fowler.
Mike, Dick, thank you very much, and welcome. A busy halftime as we begin the Reebok halftime report. Digger, the last time Virginia met Duke, they lost by 30, but you really like the adjustments that Jeff Jones has made.
Even with Junior Burrough not getting into an offensive game today, Jeff Jones starts the game by knowing that Cherokee Parks gets 19 and 25 against them. Go 2-3 zone. Great defensive play. Why? Parks can't get the ball inside. You got him surrounded by 5 guys. Here's what happens. Even when you see Duke trying to get the ball reversed so they can get to one side of the floor to penetration, get a reversal, look back, now try to go inside the Parks. No. Turnover. What happens here? Great steal out of the zone, but you know who? You got it right there. Grant Hill comes back with a great defensive play. Take it back down the floor, and here's how Cherokee can score. Get a slam. Yes. No. Layup. But that adjustment, I think, is why this game's gone in Virginia's way.
Cavs by 2 points at the break. Meanwhile, it's a 2-point lead for Nebraska over Missouri in that Big 8 semifinal game. The top-seeded Tigers surviving barely against Colorado. Nebraska really on a roll. They almost beat the Tigers in Columbia at the end of the season. It was an Eric Piatkowski three-pointer that rimmed out, giving the Tigers the 2-point win and preserving that perfect record in the conference. We'll take you to that game as action warrants a little bit later on this afternoon, and plenty to talk about when we continue the Reebok halftime report. Updates in the SEC and the Big East and all kinds of stuff coming at you. It's Virginia by 2 points over Duke. Welcome back to the Reebok halftime report. We'll start in the SEC. Florida in the semifinals there for the first time in 5 years against Alabama, a team that staged one of the more dramatic turnarounds in college basketball this season. Backcourt for the Gators, getting it done. Dan Cross, the penetration, the lefty hoop. Alabama relying on the perimeter. Artie Griffin drains it. He had 16 in the first half. Then Jason Anderson, isolated one-on-one, beats Walter Pitts, the double clutch, and the basket digger.
Yeah, but Jason, watch this. Goes right through. Great creativity. 2 defenders, up, in, out. Woo! Score.
David Hobbs' team trouble scoring. A long drought in the first half. They're now down by 19 with 15:34 to play as the Gators, the top seed and the winner of that division, try to move on to the SEC. In the Big East, Connecticut, the top seed, taking on Providence. The Friars match up better against the Huskies than perhaps any other team in the conference, and that's reflected in a very tight first half. Dickie Simpkins having his way inside, finding a hole in the Huskies' defense. The easy lay-in. He has had to carry the Friars in the first half. Meanwhile, UConn on the break, the way they like it. Ray Allen to Danielle. He's cherry-picking. 9 points in the first half for Danielle. Simpkins, the alley-oop, throws it down inside Abdullah. The pass right there. Marshall, as we said, 9, but Providence only down 1 because of Simpkins' strong play inside. The rest of the starters just not getting it done.
Well, I think that's the key to beating Connecticut, and I really feel that Providence can pull this upset today by staying focused to an inside game. Yes, Dickie Simpkins has scored double figures, but if Michael Smith gets involved offensively, powered inside, this is where they can pull off that major upset.
He better get involved in the second half because he's scoreless in the first half. Meanwhile, the Mid-American Conference Championship game earlier today on ESPN, Miami of Ohio and the top seed Ohio U. Bobcats haven't been in 8 years, and they were strong from the outset. Chad Estes, one of his 4 threes in the first half.
Yeah, but there's no one better than Gary Trent, one of the most players that can just make anything happen as far as power and scoring. He's a great one. Yeah, the tongue's even out. Michael? No.
18-point lead for Ohio U at the break. Second half, frustration for Miami. Check out the middle of your screen. Richard Tutu Brown, ouch, hitting Jeff Bowles in the 2-2. Bobcats Day, Mike Reese to Trent underneath, and Gary Trent, the MVP in the MAC, was large, and Ohio U going to the NCAA tournament for the first time since the Deane era. They're going to be a pesky first-round opponent for some team. Other brackets, other conferences in progress in the MEAC. You know about the top seed, Coppin State, knocked out after winning 35 straight against MEAC teams. Their chances for the tournament are over as Morgan State moves on. Final Sunday night on ESPN, as is the championship game in the SWAC. Southern, the defending champ, against the top seeds, Texas Southern in the semis. Alabama State and Jackson State trying for their first ever bid to the NCAA tournament. In the Big West, on the home floor of the Rebels, they will take on New Mexico State. UNLV has won 5 of the last 6. The Anteaters, the 10 seed, are alive. More in a minute.
This halftime report is presented by Reebok Instapump Technology. It's new, it's hot, it's radical. Grip it. Feel it.
We continue in the Reebok halftime report. We told you about Missouri and Nebraska. The Tigers with a 15-game winning streak coming in, perhaps playing for a top seed in the Midwest region, but getting a battle from a team on a roll. Nebraska up by 2. Dave Armstrong and Jimmy Dykes now live from Kemper Arena.
Kemper Arena, Kansas City, semifinals of the Big 8 Conference basketball tournament. Nebraska leading Missouri. The Tigers the #1 seed in the Big 8 tournament. The Huskers have a 4-point lead. Nebraska has led by as many as 4. Eric Strickland has come in and given the Huskers a real spark. With Jimmy Dykes, I'm Dave Armstrong.
This is an aggressive 2-3 double up of the basketball defense by Nebraska. They just gone to this the last 3 or 4 games, and it's been effective for them. They get a quick shot and a rebound, so it worked.
Tigers have missed a lot of easy shots like that one here today. Nearing the 5-minute mark of this first half. Out of the lineup right now, Jimmy. Who's the go-to guy for the Huskers?
Well, you got several out there. Jerron Boone right there can slash and go to the basket. Terrence Badgett is capable. Eric Strickland always can hit you points in a hurry.
And a lot of targets up here in Nebraska. 5 of their players average double figures.
Yeah, very well-balanced team. That's
Melvin Brooks commits his 3rd foul. Pretty hard foul on Kelly Thames.
Yeah, aggressive play.
So Nebraska giving the Tigers trouble. I like this Nebraska team. Eric Piatkowski playing as well as anybody in the country. 5 straight games of 25-plus points.
Well, Danny Nee, there's no love lost between Danny Nee and Norm Stewart. Danny Nee knows they had that game 1 in Columbia. They know they can beat Missouri, and he's got his team so fired up, ready to play today. This is what can cost Missouri a #1 loss if they lose today to Nebraska, and Danny Nee can pull it off.
#1 seed, you mean?
#1 seed in the country.
All right. A full platter of games coming up on ESPN following our first semifinal game in the ACC. It'll be the semifinal game #2, North Carolina and Wake Forest. And then the Southwest Conference Championship game. Here's how the bracket unfolded. And the action, Texas and Rice in the semifinal game last night. The Longhorns running Albert Burdett to Terrence Rencher. Back to Burdett for the dunk. And Texas rolled 101-89, the 400th win for Coach Tom Penders. The other semifinal game, A&M against Texas Tech. Aggies down 1 when David Edwards, who's been playing brilliantly, almost a 2nd consecutive triple-double. He had 26 points. Tony Baroni, he hopes he won't need a crying towel. He can take care of the bid if he gets the automatic bid. That game coming up at 5:30. The Power Bar Great Midwest Championship game. No automatic bid, but Cincinnati on their home floor against Memphis University. Then tonight, title game in the WAC. Rainbow Warriors and the Cougars trying to play their way in. Big Sky, Boise State, the 5 seed against Idaho State. Second half from the ACC coming up in minutes.
ESPN's Championship Week is brought to you by Payne Weber. We believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. And by Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of Lincoln luxury automobiles. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
Whatever. We're at the half where the Virginia Cavaliers are leading the nation's 5th-ranked team, Duke, by a bucket, 30-28. Mike Patrick, Dick Vitale with you. Glad to have you with us at the ACC. And Duke's problems on offense stem again from Virginia's sensational defensive play.
Well, they did a great job neutralizing Parks on the inside. He had the big game in their first match, up 19 points, 15 rebounds, but he hasn't been able to do a thing. Here he is setting up right now, a big screen up on top. Now he's going to release on the screen, slide inside as we take a look at right here. Freeze it. Look at that great defensive position. Now he'll beat him to the spot. Right here, we're going to watch. Look at a job by Yuri Barnes. Denial, three-quarter denial, playing him real tough. Now look at position defense. Now he's going to force him to the baseline and shoot over the top. And he was 2 for 7, Parks. Air ball. And Harold Deane on the offensive end was sensational. Here he is against Jeff Capel. There's the fake out by Hill, but Hill retreats back to his man. The physical strength of Deane really impresses me, the way he shoots the ball, and had a big, big half with 13 points.
Playing his way onto the all-tournament team, had 22 yesterday. And when Virginia shoots 52% the way they did in the first half today, they can play with anybody in the country.
Well, they should close the school down there, have no school for one day if they go over 50%. They only did it one time this year, and that's the big story. And 39% for Duke, uncharacteristic of Duke.
And 13 points off of turnovers for the Virginia Cavaliers. Harold Deane and Jamal Robinson, the freshman, really had a sensational first half. They combined for 22 of Virginia's 30 points.
They really found the player in Robinson, who had a big game yesterday against Maryland as well. The two diaper dandies, as you said, Mike, really accounted for 70% of the offense.
And they're doing this with Junior Burrough just struggling mightily.
1 for 5, and he's their leading scorer, averaging 15 a game. If you were to tell Jeff Jones that we could be +2 against Duke and our big scorer inside has a deuce, I think you'd say we're in pretty good shape.
Williford outside against Lang.
Williford's a guy that's capable of hitting the open shot. He's been silent. Lost some minutes, though, because of the presence of Robinson.
And seems to be reluctant to shoot the basketball at this point. Parker, tough shot.
Not a shooter. Look
Robinson. Wouldn't go for him. Parker with a tip.
Parker gets on the offensive board. They really go after the basketball. Robinson gives him a special dimension. He's such a quick slashing athlete.
First 2 points for Cornell Parker. The lead is 4.
There's that 2-3 zone again. Try to play someone in the area of the floor. Duke trying to overload against the 2-3.
It was very effective in the first half for the most part. Lang fouled before the shot.
That's a great place to bring the ball against the 2-3, right in the gut of the defense. I still say that 2-3 should present opportunities for Collins for an open 3.
Foul was on Junior Burrough. That's his second.
Mike Krzyzewski immediately sends Marty Clark in. The reason, very simply, he wants a scorer against that 2-3, a perimeter shooter.
Collins is their best long-range shooter. Going back to the first half, Virginia is on a 10-0 run.
Clark also provides a lot of toughness.
Yeah, he does. One of those kids at Duke that looks like a choir boy. Doesn't play like one.
Choir boy? I was a choir boy. You mean I didn't look?
Yeah,
I wasn't tough.
Played like one.
Hill. He doesn't play like one. I'll tell you that. Grant Hill, a little string music a la Joe Deane.
Grant Hill has 13. The lead cut back to 2. Robinson, great pass inside, and Deane lays it in. Excuse me, Williford laid it in.
Williford did the good baseline move, number 22, but the good look from Robinson.
Robinson and Deane play with so much confidence. Cherokee Parks.
They have to get him involved against that 2-3, because if they start to get some scoring productivity in the box, it's going to open it up on the wings.
18-22 to go. The winner goes to the championship game tomorrow against either North Carolina or Wake Forest.
What a heck of a game that's going to be. They split earlier this year in their 2 meetings, and Childress is a superstar.
Burrough tries to post up and then throws it away.
He's really struggling. You might have to take him out for a couple of minutes and just talk to him. Jeff Jones has to stay in with his star. Look at the shot chart coming up. Brick City, USA. Those are all the attempts right there, where he's missed and where he scored. Junior Burrough in the first half.
In his floor game, he just seems to be totally out of it for some reason. Lang kicks it to Clark. Good drive in the dish.
That's the shot that'll be there. Collins
Hits the three.
We feel he can be big against the zone. He's an excellent perimeter shooter, about 40%.
Hit only 2 out of 7 yesterday, but got a little warmer as the game wore on.
When you're shooting 40% from three-point range, that's a little better than the norm.
Knocked out of bounds out to Duke. Blue Devils on top by 1. North Carolina.
Wow, look at him.
Showing up at the gym.
That's Jerry Stackhouse. Rasheed Wallace. I want to go get his autograph. Look at him. Threaded out. Hey, were they sensational yesterday, the 2 freshmen? 36 points between them, a bunch of rebounds.
They were just terrific, and they get more and more playing time as we come near the end of the season.
I think that's classy. You make them dress up. They come here. They look like $1 million. They feel like $1 million. And eventually the Stackhouses and the Wallace will get millions of dollars.
Burrough wanting the ball. Parker with a leaner. Grant Hill, what a rebound.
Watch him make the great look right now. Look to Collins. There it is. Collins, somebody give it back to you.
Hill for 3. Hasn't had the outside shot going tonight, and here's a foul on Parker as he collided with Marty Clark.
There's the toughness we talk about in Marty Clark, diving for loose balls.
Yuri Barnes will come back in. Robinson gets a breather at the 17-10 mark.
Jeff Jones really high on Robinson. You can't blame him, sitting next to Chris Havlicek, John Havlicek's son. Give it into him. Dump it into him, Grant.
Parker runs through a screen as Collins went down hard.
He's got such great pride playing against Hill. You can see it right here. He's focused, concentrates well. Look at him bumping on him. I love watching the action away from the ball.
Parker against Williford, got it to Parks. He was hit and missed his shot, but Lang got the foul.
Lang does a great job rotating to the offensive rebounding position after the miss by Parks.
Been a game of streaks. Duke has now scored 7 in a row to take a 3-point lead. Williford off balance. Foul on Collins.
Virginia does a good job attacking the glass on a missed shot, and with the way they shoot a basketball, there are a lot of missed opportunities.
2 on Chris Collins. And only the first team foul against Duke here in the second half. That was a non-shooting foul.
You know, it makes the Duke record so impressive, not only winning the ACC regular season, but beating Michigan on the road, Iowa on the road, Temple. They played some good people.
Deane missed a 3. Nice block out both by Parks and Collins.
There it is. Got the 3. Yes, sir. Just a matter of time. Hey, Mike, who said it? He was going to be a factor. Did I say that, Mike?
I think you did.
I was right one time.
He's hit 2 straight, and the lead has grown to 6.
He's too good a shooter not to be involved against a 2-3 zone.
Especially the top of the circle.
Well, Virginia had rotated back to a man-to-man.
Burrough.
He doesn't seem to have that quick first step like he normally does when he makes that drive to the goal, Junior Burrough. He's from Charlotte. Could be pressing a little bit, Mike. This is his home city. Probably a lot of friends here.
That's a possibility. Lang picks up his 3rd personal, so both he and Eric Meek have 3.
Williford goes out. Jamal Robinson comes back on. They need some scoring.
He's had to shoulder some of the burden with Corey Alexander injured and not being able to play since the first game.
And then remember this, because of their inefficiency in shooting the basketball, defenses have really been allowed to pack on them like crazy inside.
That stops a 10-0 run and cuts the lead to 5. Only the 3rd point today for Junior Burrough. We've got a timeout. 15:57 to go. Duke emotionally back in it, and they lead by 4.
I love the emotion, Mike, he brings to a team.
We're going to take you to Northwestern, where the Wildcats lead Michigan by 2. The Wolverines fighting for a Big Ten title, but Pat Baldwin's layup has given Northwestern a 2-point lead in the final minute. Let's go to Wayne Larrabee and John Mengel.
Wayne Larrabee Maravich, John Mengelt, Welsh Ryan Arena. Final 23 seconds. Michigan trailing by 2. And on the attack, Juwan Howard, the go-to man. No, but a foul. He was pushed by Kevin Rankin, who picks up his 3rd personal. 6 on the team, sending Juwan Howard with 29 points to the free throw line.
Who else is going to go to but Howard or Rose down low? They had both of them there.
Ricky Birdsong's Northwestern Wildcats lead by 2. Again, they are trying for a winning season for the first time in 11 years. For a postseason berth in the NIT for the first time in 11 years. Michigan wants a Big Ten championship. Howard in the face of the student section. Michigan 1 point away from tying the game. Timeout by Northwestern. They have 1 timeout remaining.
A little freeze, huh?
And we'll take you right back out there to Northwestern for the closing seconds as we continue on championship week. Juwan Howard to the line. Wolverines still down by 1. Updating our main game from Charlotte. Duke now a 4-point lead over Virginia, 15-37 to play. We're keeping you posted on that game. But meanwhile, Michigan Digger up or down 1 at the line. What does Northwestern do should the Wolverines hit the free throw to tie it?
Well, Juwan Howard must make the foul shot. He makes it, scores, tied. They may go to a press to try to steal it, create that turnover, but take it to the basket. Plenty of time, 18 seconds to score, and you can pull it off and go to the NIT.
There are no free passes in the Big Ten, and Northwestern is closing strong. If they get this win, they do get that winning season for the first time in 11 years. Let's see what happens. Juwan Howard on the line, 18 seconds to play. Wolverines down 1.
There's Ricky Birdsong. He has 1 timeout remaining for Northwestern. Again, the situation for Michigan. If they win here today, Purdue could tie them for the Big Ten championship with a win at home tomorrow against Illinois. A loss by Michigan today. If Purdue loses to Illinois at home tomorrow, Michigan and Purdue would share the Big Ten title. Still a 1-point lead as Howard misses the 2nd free throw. And it will be Northwestern basketball. I guess you can ice Juwan Howard.
Steve Fisher calling for the full court man-to-man pressure. 10 team fouls on Michigan. That'll give the bonus, the super bonus to Northwestern.
2 shots coming up for the senior Kevin Rankin. Michigan trailing by 1. Dugan Fife had to give up the foul there to stop the clock with 16 seconds to go. Fife with his 4th personal foul.
And Rankin, a 77% free throw shooter. Steve Fisher deciding to try to get the ball on the inbounds, but if they don't, forget about the trap, foul him right away.
Kevin Rankin in his final game at Welsh Ryan Arena, perhaps. Michigan would still have a chance to tie this game with a 2, even if Kevin Rankin makes this shot, and he does.
No timeout, going to depend on their experience.
Jalen Rose for the tie. 6 seconds to go. Kirkpatrick finds Rankin. End of regulation, no foul. This game obviously deserves an overtime, and
we'll keep you posted on what happens at Evanston. Meanwhile, back to our semifinal game in the ACC, Virginia and Duke in a close one. Back to Mike and Dick in Charlotte.
All right, Chris, thanks. It's a 4-point lead for Duke. The Blue Devils have the ball with 13:27 to go in the game.
I wonder what the Purdue team and Gene Katie did when Jalen Rose hit that to send it to OT. I mean, they were already smelling that Big Ten title.
Foul on Parker. That is 3 on the defensive specialist for Virginia.
Virginia, as you were telling me during the break, they just will not go away, and that's because of that defensive effort. Grant Hill rotated over to try and shut down Deane. Moved over from playing Parker.
He does whatever is required
to win.
Missed that one, kept alive by Lang, but Burrough with a rebound.
He drifted away on the shot with the back pedal rather than squaring his body, Grant.
Parker to Yuri Barnes. He has that fadeaway to the left. Tip won't go.
Super effort, though, by Jamal Robinson.
Collins may have gotten away with palming the ball. And now sets up to shoot the three. Fouled by Clark.
Nice play. Good move by Clark.
A 6-point lead for the Blue Devils. 12:39 to go in the first of two ACC semifinals.
Duke rotates into a 2-3 zone.
And Parks reaches over the back and picks up his first personal foul.
I think a lot of teams would really zone against Virginia, but that's not the personality of Duke. But they're sitting now in a 2-3. They're +6, and they're going to say, okay, try and make the open shot.
Which is normally extremely difficult for the Cavaliers. They have shot as well today as I've seen them all year. Burrough.
Hey, Junior Burrough gets a conversion on the inside.
Junior Burrough has 8 points, and the lead cut back to 4. Hill, tough pass to Lang, missed the shot. Parks.
Whoa!
Alexander blocked the shot.
That's his expertise, blocking shots. He's a specialist. He's a shot blocker. Here's Parks now trying to get the angle, but there's the rejection. Hey, that's like the Duke Deane of admissions, sending out those rejections like crazy in April.
Long arms, excellent timing on the part of Chris Alexander, the sophomore from New Jersey.
I love to have on my team, if I were coaching, a shot blocker to add such a special dimension to force people to the perimeter. That's what Rasheed Wallace does, and Marcus Camby does a great job with Massachusetts.
Robinson getting a lot of playing time and producing.
He's going to get more and more playing time next year, I can guarantee you that.
Parker missed everything with it.
Not a shooter, Mike. He's trying to, I think, score a little bit too much rather than go to the offensive boards, get out in transition, and give them great team defense.
It's only 1 out of 7 from the floor, but Duke continues to lead by only 4 points.
Overtime at Northwestern. Kevin Rankin, the guy who missed the free throw late and gave Michigan a chance to tie with a 2-pointer, starts off the overtime by draining this 3. The Wildcats have the lead. They are now at the line, up 2. Back to the ACC.
Duke leading Virginia 46-42. 11 minutes, 46 seconds to go in the game. Deane and Robinson were so superb in the first half, 22 points. They have combined for 2 in this half. And here's the shooting story. 33% second half for Virginia. Duke shooting 50.
After the first half, when Virginia shot 52%, as we said, they shoot under 40% as a team all year. They've done it with solid team defense.
Grant Hill leaning in, forced that one. Meek with a rebound.
That's that presence of that big body at 6'10 and a half, very physical. He's become a much more aggressive player, Eric Meek.
They started Meek and Parks together yesterday against Clemson.
Because of Sharon's right inside, they wanted to neutralize his talent presence. NBA people love White.
Yuri Barnes working past Meek.
Nice move by Barnes. Good slashing drive. Excellent first step.
Yuri Barnes with 6. The lead is back to 4.
Playing a double big post there with Meek and Parks on the boxes inside. With a little stack and pop Hill out off the stack.
Capel trying to take Williford.
They do a great job swinging the ball side to side.
Capel to the baseline, shot clock at 8, nearly threw it away.
Hill locking up on Hill. Parker won't let Hill get the ball. Look at him, he's in denial. He's not going to touch the ball.
Capel with a tough shot with the shot clock running down, and here is a push on Cherokee Parks.
Chief can't believe it, but what a job defensively in that series by Parker, not allowing Hill to get the basketball.
That was sensational looking, wasn't it?
Well, look at him up on top. Look at number 5. Look at him playing right now. He said, I'm going to shadow you. I'm going to shadow box you everywhere you go. I'm not going to let you go anywhere, Grant. Get away. I'm the best defensive player in America. If you don't believe it, ask Mike Patrick and Dick Vitale.
And that's not particularly his strength either, Dick. Normally, he lets people get the ball.
Yeah, he really does. Then he plays it with his feet. But I'll tell you what, don't let Hill get the ball. It's like giving a guy a loaded gun.
Williford with a runner.
Whoa. They shoot more air balls. Look at that statistic than any team in America.
The silent shot. 10 minutes away. Parks. Followed by Grant Hill. It wouldn't go for him.
Grant getting a little bit frustrated with the defensive presence of Parker. Parks is being moved out offensively. He shot that shot a little bit away from his normal position on the box.
Junior Burrough for three. Look at Yuri Barnes.
Barnes really playing well off the bench. So tenacious.
Bodies going everywhere. Parker, great bounce pass. Barnes, great reverse. Holy cow.
I think it's only apropos that he scores the baseline drive because he kept the ball in that possession by giving his knees up and driving and diving on the floor.
The lead is 2.
And the Cavalier fans get alive.
Capel blocked by Williford. The foul on Williford. That's his 3rd.
He gets a hug from Burrough. He says, nice job, Jason. Oh, watch Yuri Barnes. Little acrobatic baseline drive. The reverse. He's going to reverse. He uses the basket as a seal to keep the defensive player away.
Great control.
Florida with a big win over Alabama, who's been playing well. And right now, Providence putting a little hurt on Connecticut. They could knock them out of a #1 seed. I really believe that, depending on what happens here in this tournament.
Capel in high school in Fayetteville left as the school's all-time leader in points, rebounds, and assists. That's not bad.
They're getting 3 super perimeter players next year. Trajan Langdon from out of Alaska. Ricky Price. Everybody loves to say the best maybe in California. And a guy named Wojciechowski from out of Baltimore.
Parks gets the offensive rebound, but he's fouled by Harold Deane, who went for the steal. So a break for Duke. Of course, we hope you'll be with us for the next semifinal coming up later this afternoon. Wake Forest against #4 North Carolina. Rasheed Wallace, Stackhouse. Dean Smith will go for win number 800 in his career.
Wow, 800 W's. That's just incredible. 876 is the magical number. This guy will get up there eventually. I mean, what a number he's posting down with Duke.
Parks hits the first, he'll get another.
I'll tell you one thing, his wife Mickey's really dressing him because he has changed. You know, the status that he's arrived with as a coach, his status as a dresser has changed.
Your wife's done you a favor in the last couple of years, too.
I got away from my camp specials.
51-46. Deane for 3.
See, they pushed Deane away. And they got him a little deeper, and he's out of his range right now as a shooter. First half, he was getting 12 and 14 feet away from the goal, and Grant Hill's right up in his face.
Virginia has hit only 1 out of 7 from three-point range. Now they score at point-blank range and cut the lead again. Robinson now with 13 points.
He's a very active player. I like his ability because he's fluid and quick.
Parks knocked away by Barnes.
That's just great denial defense. Beat the man to the basketball. That's one of the principles of playing man-to-man defense. Ball you man.
And defense is Virginia's long suit. Junior Burrough.
Can't let him get it that deep. That's why he averages 15 a game. Hey, the Cavs are not going away. They want to spoil the party. They don't want Carolina Duke in the final.
It's a one-point ball game, and Grant Hill whizzes one past Collins.
They were teasing me before the game. A lot of their players, Mike, they said, we're going to spoil it. We know you guys in TV want North Carolina Duke. We're going to spoil the party.
Mike Krzyzewski wants a timeout. He's seen his lead disappear.
Michigan Northwestern overtime. Pat Baldwin, one of the heroes at the end of regulation for the Wildcats, almost loses control of the ball, then buries the 3. Wildcats up 6 in the final minute. Meanwhile, UConn coming back against Providence. The Friars lead is 4. Guys?
And Virginia coming back against Duke. They trail by only 1. And Junior Burrough has had 8 points in this half. Grant Hill has been held to 2.
He's been held to 2 by the great defense of Parker. Hey, that would be a great win for Northwestern. I got an NIT matchup, DePaul and Northwestern.
Virginia with a chance to take the lead.
They're trying to get Burrough really involved now on a box. There he is. Oh, 3 seconds. Or either one. Take your choice.
Yeah, you're right. Good defense by Duke.
Man-to-man defense by Virginia.
Clark picked up by Robinson. This is Parker against Hill. Burrough on Lang, and Lang had to throw it away as he got caught up in the air.
Look at Virginia out of the game.
And foul on Collins. No basket.
They really exploded out in transition.
And Parker went down very, very hard.
Cornell's had such a solid job, solid game defensively.
He was back here.
And Robinson came up limping on the same play.
Brad Hill, look at the first half numbers versus the second half. 1 for 6 in the second half, and that's because of the defense of Mr. Parker.
Parker trying to walk it off on the free throw line. 2.6 assists, but his value is defense.
It's amazing to see a kid get some recognition. He deserves it for defense. We always seem to reward those that play on the offensive end.
He has shut down over the last 2 years, Dick, some of the best scorers in America.
He takes great pride playing defense. He does it with good quickness. He does it with good anticipation.
Nearly a 70% free throw shooter. Look at what he's done since the 1st of January. Bob Sura held the 9. Grant Hill held the 4. Donald Williams held the 1.
I heard a story yesterday. Tell me it's not true. Bob Sura is thinking of going to the NBA draft. He should stay in school. Another year would help him immensely.
Burrough offensive rebound, forced it back up, didn't get it. And then reaches in and commits the foul, either he or Parker on Cherokee Parks.
Parks gets really aggressive in that sequence.
And it's on Junior Burrough, and that foul was out of frustration for missing that follow shot. Williford comes back in the ball game for Virginia. We're tied at 51, 7:33 to go.
It's amazing how a turnaround. They played the last time. Duke really put the hurt on Virginia, beat them by 30. But today, a little different story. And I think it was the confidence they gained in the first half with the play of the freshman Deane and also with the play of Robinson as a freshman.
Cherokee Parks puts him back on top, and Parker being attended to on the bench.
This could be big right here because they can take advantage of Parker sitting on that sideline going right to Hill.
When you know they will, too. Next trip down, Grant Hill will have the ball and a chance to get a good look at the bucket.
2 big free throws right there by Parks. That step out.
Williford with the size advantage against Collins.
Big possession right now for Virginia. All the possessions get big here.
Robinson forced it up, and Hill with a rebound.
See, right now with Parker on the sideline, Hill's got to want the basketball. They got to recognize it.
Williford now has Hill.
Williford playing soft defensively, playing off him. See, on his Grant go post. He has post-up ability.
And he's got it around a double screen. Missed the shot, though, and Barnes with a rebound. Parks went flying.
I think Hill's going too jump shot oriented rather than driving to the goal.
Burrough with a reverse and fires up another air ball. Holy cow. Lang, Parks.
Lang with the drive onto his pass from Hill, but it's Parks really getting on the offensive board.
Cherokee Parks with 17. How many air balls has Junior Burrough put up today?
Good timeout right there by Jeff Jones. They needed that TO, baby, to settle down and not let this get away from them.
6:27 to go in the game. The lead back to 4.
It's a final at Northwestern. Ricky Birdsong gets the winning season, the first for Northwestern in 11 seasons. We love Vital's NIT matchup with the fall if that happens. Meanwhile, how does this affect Michigan seeding? Do they drop below a 2? In the Big East, Providence and UConn still battling the Friars by a point. A minute to play. We'll keep you posted, but back to the ACC.
Chris, thanks very much. And this one is far from decided with 6:27 to go. Duke leading by 4. Cherokee Parks turning it on in the second half. 3 out of 6 field goals, a total of 17 points.
I think Chris made a great point there in reception in terms of talking about that Michigan situation. They could play themselves to a 3 seed depending on what happens with their real demise that they had at the end of the year, losing to Wisconsin, losing to Purdue, and losing to Northwestern.
Williford, tough off-balance shot, and Parks with another rebound. 9 for the Chief.
There goes Warford against Hill right now.
Virginia needs shots from its shooters. Deane and Robinson right now.
They really don't have a lot of options offensively. They certainly got Deane and Robinson would be one on the perimeter and maybe inside again to Burrough, but they're limited so much so offensively.
Junior Burrough just picked up his 4th personal foul. Cornell Parker checks back in.
Grant Hill peeks out of his eye and sees number 5 on the floor and says, why? Why must he be on that floor?
Parks at the line trying to extend the lead. He's hit 7 of 8 free throws today. Now look at 8 out of 9.
He's got that great rotation. That's certainly an advantage for Duke when they have their head-to-head confrontations in terms of, you talk about what a lot of clubs, their big people don't shoot really well on that free throw line. You put these big guys on the line, especially Parks, he can knock them down.
Hits them both. 57-51 as we approach 6 minutes.
9 for 10. So many games are won by the special situations, free throws, sideline plays.
Deane, you know he wants the shot, but he can't beat Clark.
Having a tough time getting into the position he likes to shoot the basketball.
Robinson against Hill. What a tough shot.
He's an excellent one-on-one player. He's one player within the Virginia system who has the ability to break a defensive player down with one-on-one ability.
Robinson has 15, 1 away from his career high. Clark to the baseline. Robinson cuts him off.
Look at Parker. I mean, I just love watching away from the ball. Look at him tonight. Look at him. A big screen they laid for Hill, and Hill didn't get the ball. Look how frustrated he was.
Shot clock at 12.
He's locking right up on him, trying to deny him the ball. Look at him getting out over the top on him.
Clark lost control.
And he stole it.
Hill back. Parker.
Hey,
put away in Robinson.
Credit that to Parker, though. What a defensive effort. I mean, he had Grant Hill totally frustrated. Had the denial, beat him to the ball, then stripped the basketball.
And the Virginia defense has cut it back to 2.
Parker has taken Hill out of the offensive set.
Boy, and they're setting some big screens trying to get him the ball,
They
too.
really are. Look at him right now. He's going to try and do it one-on-one.
Wheels down the lane. And they'll call Parker for the foul.
Watch number 5. Watch his defense right now on Grant Hill. He's right up in his face. Now Grant's going to try to use the screen. Now watch Grant come off the screen. Look at him beat up to the ball. Now look at this. He comes up with the loose ball. And then he makes the good pass. And Robinson converts.
Parker picks up his 4th personal foul on the last play, riding Grant Hill down the lane.
See, I think the way you have to play Grant Hill is to keep the ball away from him, try to minimize the number of times or where he can touch the basketball. I think you're in trouble if you allow him to get the ball.
2-time All-American, hits the first free throw, makes it a 3-point game.
And as you said, Parker's job is doubly tough because he's trying to come over those big, big screens.
Hill has 14 in the game, but only the 3rd point he scored in the second half. 59-55. A lot of people thought this game would be a blowout, but Virginia has really hung tough. Deane for 3 over Hill. That's a tough shot.
That's out of his range. Really out of his range.
Collins travels. If you go to the floor with a loose ball, come up with possession, and you start to roll over, it is supposed to be an automatic travel.
And it was. They called it quickly. Harold Deane versus the second half has now been pushed out in his range. And look at that. He's got the blank in the second half. And all 3 have not been good shots after a great first half.
Well, he's had Grant Hill on him, who is 6'8". Deane is 6'1".
That's the amazing thing about Hill. What he doesn't do sometimes offensively because of all the defensive pressure he faces, he applies defensive pressure the other way.
Boy, he is all over Harold Deane.
Right up in Deane's face. Oh, Deane went right by him.
Nice move in the dish to Barnes.
Hey, Deane blew right by him that time. Little 3D man. He drove.
Grant Hill was looking for the shot. Deane down the lane and gets the assist.
He drives.
Is he going to be good or what?
And he dishes the rock. He is good already.
2-point game, 3:50 left.
Here's Parker now trying to play him one-on-one. So you're in trouble if you let him get the ball.
But he blew the shot after he got inside Parker. Deane for the lead.
There it is.
Holy cow.
And they're jumping with joy in Charlottesville, where they have one of the great campuses in America.
34-32. Now look at this, one-on-one. Hill, the superstar, back the other way.
What emotion now Virginia's playing with. Hill trying to take Parker one-on-one.
Was it tipped or not? Or was it a tie? What's the call?
I think the ball goes to Duke.
Well, we'll find out when we come back with 3:15 to go in the game. A 1-point Cavalier lead.
Frantic finish at Madison Square Garden. The Huskies down 3. Officials initially called this a three-pointer, but Daron Sheffer's toes on the line. They changed the call. That got the Huskies back within 1. They trailed by 2 in the final seconds. Ray Allen doesn't get the shot off. They call him for traveling, and Providence headed to the Big East final for the first time ever. Back to our close game in Charlotte now.
And Virginia may be in the midst of an upset right now with 3:15 left.
Harold Deane right now being played by Grant Hill. Number 33, checking 21. Right up here, catches the basketball, frees it. Now right here, he has the basketball. He's going to beat him down the lane, and he's going to drive, draw, dish the rock. Here it is, freeze it. Look at the little dish. See right here, he's going to drop it right here to an open man. And there's going to be an open man. Thank you. Score it. Great play. And he beat one of the great defensive players in America, Grant Hill. Harold Deane.
That last play was a Virginia turnover. Grant Hill has missed his last 8 shots. And a bad pass, the interception by Williford.
I've never seen Grant look this flustered as I do right now.
Junior Burrough misses from point-blank range. Tipped out of bounds. It's out to Virginia.
It may not show. If they were to hang on and win this game, Virginia, you won't see his name in a box score, Mike, but Mr. Parker has been a star today.
He has that, and he's done it many times before on defense. Deane around the screen. Collins with a rebound.
Oh, he got fouled.
And he's fouled by Barnes.
Yeah, you got to call that. Blow that whistle quickly.
That's 4 on Uri Barnes.
What a gallant job this guy has done with a team that lost Corey Alexander in their very first game against Connecticut when they were blown out, and it looked like it was going to be a long, long year. But he got this team really together to play as a unit, and they've really done a fantastic job with limited offense.
Virginia with some real foul trouble now. Burrough with 4, Barnes with 4, Parker with 4, and Collins, an excellent free throw shooter at the line, 72.5%, and he bricks that one.
Had no height right there. Shot down on a line drive.
Cavaliers still by 1. 2:49 to go in the game.
Now you talk crunch time. This is where usually your superstars become PTPers, primetime performers. He misses both, but look at that rebound.
Parks with the big offensive rebound. This is Clark.
Look at Parker. Backdoor cut by Hill.
They get it to Hill. He hit the front of the rim.
He made a great backdoor cut, got behind Parker, but didn't get the conversion.
And give the ball to the freshman because he has been the star. Being covered by one of the nation's premier defensive players, and they'll try to go one-on-one.
I ain't playing Burrough down inside. Burrough might be an option they'll think about, trying to seal on the box.
Shot clock at 9. And it's going to be Deane against Hill. Has to lean into one, and Grant Hill stuffed it. Deane got it back. Has to throw it up at the buzzer, trying to avoid the shot clock violation, but can't. Great D.
Now, see, that doesn't show in a box score, but there's Grant Hill right now, what he brings to this team. Here he is on a defensive end, and he does a fantastic job that creates now an opportunity for Duke with the basketball down 1.
2:01 to go, and of course Cornell Parker is already waiting for Grant Hill. And he's a couple of great matchups.
Look at the focus on him. Look at him touching. He knows the screen is coming. He says, communicate. Let me get over the top. I would go to Parks. I would go to Parks against Barnes on the inside.
Barnes playing with 4 fouls. Of course, so is Parker.
He's got 4. Get it into Parks.
Tough for either team to get a shot. Clark tries to dump it down to Lang. Lang gets the loose ball. Jump ball situation, possession arrow back to Duke.
See, right now, here's where I love them to throw the ball up. Look at a big win. Providence with a W.
I agree with you on that. I hate that possession arrow alternating stuff.
Yeah, you can play a tremendous defense and you get penalized because of alternate possessions. I'd rather have the margin for error for an official. Throwing it up is not really big. Let the guy throw it up and let people have to design plays on jump ball situations.
Clark, as the shot clock doesn't recycle, they haven't hit the rim yet, and Virginia gets the ball with 1:25 to go and a 1-point lead.
Not a good shot, not a good possession right there by Duke.
Jeff Jones has run the offense, and that means Harold Deane.
Spreading out, getting good spacing.
He'd love to penetrate against Hill and dish to someone. Now they're going to run him around a couple of screens, trying to get him open for his own shot.
Got to watch for possibly Robinson in a one-on-one, but you also got to be careful of it. Right now, is he aware of the shot clock?
Shot clock is at 4. Robinson all the way.
Oh, what a great one-on-one move, Robinson.
A 3-point lead.
That looked like Randolph Childress driving down the lane.
Hill had it knocked away. Was knocked away by Uri Barnes. And a double dribble called on Parker.
They have really locked up on Hill. But what a play one-on-one by Jamal Robinson. Look at number 13 right here. Spinning in the lane on Clark. He spins, he wheels, he slides, he glides. He protects the ball with the left hand, lays it with the right hand, and it's a TO, baby.
Duke has not had a field goal in the last 6 minutes. They trail by 3. 39.3 seconds to go. Duke with a 6-minute scoreless streak from the floor. Right now down by 3. Here's how the teams got here. Virginia eliminated Maryland yesterday. Duke knocked off Clemson for the 3rd time. Carolina over Florida State, and Wake Forest blew out Georgia Tech. We'll have the North Carolina-Wake Forest game coming up shortly.
Mike, you don't have to panic and take the quick 3. However, if you can get the 3 in your normal offensive set, you got to think right now Marty Clark or Mr. Collins shooting to 3. But if not, you get a quick score and you go on defensive pressure. They want to use so much time.
Collins, a very dangerous pass.
Very bad pass. What a job defensively by Virginia. And the emotion, their fans, their players, and Grant Hill certainly has been stymied by the defensive line.
19th turnover for Duke today. Now 30 seconds. Parker. And he's fouled by Cherokee Parks.
They release Parker out of that alignment. Release him to the basket. Not a great shooter.
The one thing about Virginia, the Cavaliers do not shoot free throws very well. Burrough 65%, Williford 66, Barnes 58, Parker 69, Harold Deane 69, Robinson 68, so you can't even find anyone who is at 70%. Parker's hit 1 of 2 today.
Parker really is better than I thought at 66%.
That's the front end of a 1-and-1. So now Duke, will they go for the 3? They do. Grant Hill with a miss. And they foul Burrough and finally do.
Got a foul quickly. Grant really a frustrating afternoon here in the second half. He's missed his last 10 shots.
Foul was on Antonio Lang, his 4th.
But he wasn't afraid to take the big shot. Look at the first half, first of the second half. 1 for 11 in the second half. Only 4 points. But you know, it's amazing. Even though he knows he's struggling, he knows the club is counting on him, he's thinking and looking for the big shot.
Keep in mind that Virginia lost both regular season games, 84-54 and 66-58. 3 for 3 from the line, Virginia Burrough.
And what a big free throw. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to realize now you're looking at 2 possessions.
He has really struggled today, but he has 11 points. 18.1 seconds left. That was a huge shot.
2 possessions, and they're going to put some pressure to shut down the 3.
Hill trying to beat Parker. They need the 3-point shot. Collins from a mile out. Hill with a rebound. He puts it in. They'll call a time with 7.5 seconds to go. Well, they needed a 2-pointer in there somewhere anyway.
To keep it down to a 1-possession game, and that's what it is right now. Duke's first point in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Incredible.
Just amazing, and a lot of that has to be credited to the Cavalier defense, which has been tough all year long.
Do you think they'll get in a tournament if they win this game? Everybody's been asking them that question.
Jeff Jones thinks they got in after they beat Maryland yesterday, and I do too, at an 8-8 in the conference and running your record to 17-11.
They might have been in before yesterday's game, but certainly in for sure after beating Maryland. What a wacky day today in college basketball with all Northwestern beating up Michigan. Providence beats up Connecticut. Just incredible. The beauty of the college hoops.
Of course, what will happen in the next one? The second semifinal has the 4th-ranked team in the nation, North Carolina, playing their best basketball of the end of the year against a Wake Forest team that a lot of people don't know a lot about, and Randolph Childress, a player a lot of people don't know about. They're both terrific.
Maybe we'll have a consolation, North Carolina and Duke, and we'll have Wake Forest play against Virginia. As look at Carolina waiting to come out here.
And
They're
Wake
anxious.
right behind them. Let's check in with Chris Fowler in Bristol. Chris?
All right, Mike, a feisty game between Nebraska and Missouri in the Big 8 semifinal game. The top-seeded Tigers in a bit of trouble here. Bruce Chovik throws down the follow dunk, and Nebraska now leads by 8 with 7.5 to play. Kentucky and Arkansas underway in the SEC, a 2-point lead for the Hogs. Back to Charlotte.
Duke led in this game 59-55. They've been outscored 9-2 since then. Here is the reset. The possession arrow to Virginia. If there's a jump ball situation, Duke is out of timeouts. Got inbound in 5. They get it to Harold Deane. Double team foul with 6.3 seconds.
And this guy wants the ball. He wants to go to the free throw line. Look at him hugging him and saying, you're going to wrap it up. You're going to put us in a winner's circle. We're going to go on to play for the gold in the ACC tournament.
He can put it away. This will be a 2-shot foul because we've reached the limit of 10.
Managing the end of a game. Mike Krzyzewski does a great job, but so does this young guy, Jeff Jones, who doesn't get enough credit. I mean, we talk about young coaches around America. You never hear the name Jones, and what a solid job he's done in his 4 years there in Charlottesville.
And point guards who go into coaching are usually the smart ones. He was a great point guard.
He played on their team, I believe, Mike, that went to the Final Four in '81. Down there in that Final Four.
He did. He played from 79 to 82, the career assist leader.
That was Ralph Sampson's era as we look at Harold Deane's numbers right now.
Deane can wrap it up. Duke would now need 2 possessions, barring some kind of silly foul.
Yeah, it's really, really trouble, big time. Virginia will get after you to make you use some clock, too. If he converts this, they'll put a little pressure on the basketball.
17 points, 4 out of 6 from the line for Harold Deane. And Virginia on the verge of its 18th win.
Look at this, putting some pressure, trying to match up.
Clark trying to draw the foul as he shoots the 3. That's it. The Cavaliers have shocked the Blue Devils after being swept. And that leads the #1 seed in the East open to the Tar Heels of North Carolina if they can take advantage. Virginia reaches the final. They will meet the winner of Wake Forest, North Carolina, coming up shortly from Charlotte. That's the final score. Cavaliers over the Blue Devils by 5. For Dick Vitale, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let's go back to Chris Fowler.
Thanks, Phillies. You saw Eric Montross and the Heels set to take the floor. We'll get you back out to Charlotte for that North Carolina Wake game. In the meantime, like it or not, America, Virginia's going to the championship of the ACC. We say that because they're not exactly easy on the eyes, but they manage a way to win every time out.
But the difference is Harold Deane has become the Bobby Hurley of Virginia, and Duke misses Bobby Hurley. It was obvious today, and this is where Virginia now has momentum going into whoever they play tomorrow.
Harold Deane has been sensational.
Great year. He's playing like a sophomore. He's got 25 games, 30 games under his belt. That's the maturity he has. And when you can get a point guard, and that's going to be the NCAA tournament this year, the point guards that can create and make things happen, plus control the clock, that's what's going to push people step by step closer to the big game in Charlotte.
Virginia beaten by Duke by 30 points a month ago. They come back, they get the win. They were a big question mark coming into this ACC tournament. You can erase the question mark, and they can get the automatic bid by beating the Wake Carolina winner tomorrow. Missouri and Nebraska, meanwhile, are battling in the Big 8 semifinal game we've been telling you about. Paul O'Linney, the hero at the free throw line yesterday for Missouri, hits this one in the corner. The Tigers were down 8 the last time we checked in at Kemper Arena. They are trying to make a run. It's now a 5-point Nebraska lead with 6.5 to play. We'll take you out there to Kemper Arena as we continue. And Missouri, another one of those teams battling for a top seed. We talked about Duke perhaps losing any chance of a top seed now with the loss, certainly. And Missouri battling. Connecticut's already lost. Sort it out for us.
This helps Arizona, really. Arizona now becomes a plus factor if they beat Arizona State tonight. But watch out for Massachusetts now creeping up to become a number 2 seed. Based on all these losses, when you're going to pick out who's 1, who's 2, this is where today, tonight, tomorrow, it's all going to be crazy. It's not over yet.
Helps Arizona, also helps Purdue if they can beat Illinois tomorrow and win the outright Big Ten championship thanks to Michigan's loss. We'll continue with more between games at the ACC. Update you on Nebraska, Missouri. But the Cavaliers have one spot in the final. Jamal Robinson spinning in the lane. He lays it in, and Virginia surprises the regular season champs from the ACC, winning by 5. Back in a minute.
ESPN's Championship Week is brought to you by Citibank Visa. Now with your photo and signature on the front for greater security. Not just Visa, Citibank Visa. By Pizza Hut, who reminds you that anytime's a great time to stop and smell the pizza. By State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.